Welcome back to the Humane Society of Manatee County, located here 2415 West 14th Street in downtown Bradenton. Today at our Pet Health Center and Veterinary Clinic, where we have Heartworm Day, where we have 30 heartworm positive dogs coming in for their second and third treatments. They'll be back tomorrow if this is their second treatment for their third treatment, and hopefully this will eradicate the heartworm from these animals and they'll be able to move on and live a healthy and happy life. Again, they're dropping off their dogs this morning between 8 and 9 o'clock. This is part of our heartworm program, and we also want to remind everybody how important it is with heartworm prevention. You can actually get the medications you need to protect your animal for its entire life at a less cost than what you'll pay for heartworm treatment. And heartworm is a debilitating disease for the dogs. So heartworm is obviously a big issue here in Florida. With the climate we have, mosquitoes are an issue for most of the year and really bad in the summer. Heartworm is transmitted to dogs by mosquitoes, and heartworm is also a zoonotic disease which can also be transmitted to humans. It doesn't have the same effect on humans as it does on the dogs, but it can make you seriously ill. For a dog, being tested heartworm positive is something that then sets them up for the treatment, which is good. Many people who don't have their dogs tested don't notice that their dog is slowly getting lethargic and slowly getting sick until sometimes it's too late. So it is a very difficult disease for an animal to handle, and the treatment is the key once a dog is tested heartworm positive to putting them on a path to recovery. So dog owners really do, the humans really do need to get their dogs on heartworm preventative medicine. HeartGuard is what we sell here at our veterinary clinic, Pet Health Center. It's also available online at our website, and you can order that online once your animal is a client here at the Pet Health Center. It's www.humanemanatee.org. And again, there's no cost for shipping or handling. It's as simple as a couple of clicks on your computer on our website, and you can protect your dog so it will never end up heartworm positive. The Humane Society of Manatee County has been doing heartworm prevention and heartworm treatment for a number of years. The reason that we're here today talking about it is the heartworm is starting to spiral a little out of control here in Manatee County. We have, again, today 30 dogs here for the treatment. We recommend that everyone stop in our veterinary clinic, our Pet Health Center here in Bradenton, and get a wellness exam on your animal. We are open to the public. We're open to everyone. The heartworm test is part of our wellness check, and if your dog is identified as heartworm positive, we can get them in our treatment program as soon as possible. Okay, so we're here with Harper. Harper is one of our heartworm positive dogs who's here for, I'm assuming, his second treatment today. His first treatment, so he'll be back for 2 more treatments in the future. In about 30 days, Harper will be returning for his second and then follow-up third visit to eradicate the heartworm that he's been diagnosed with. Harper's about 1.5 years old, and really it never is too soon to get your dog on heartworm preventative medications available here at the Pet Health Center. So with our heartworm treatment program and our heartworm prevention program working hand in hand, every one of our heartworm positive dogs that are going through our treatment program are on preventative medication, HeartGuard, and that's extremely important that dog stay on HeartGuard. All dogs get this medication that prevents heartworm and be on it for their entire life. There is no safe time of the year to stop the medication, and it is extremely important. So we're here at the Humane Society of Manatee County with our lead veterinary technician, Josh Jordan, who's going to explain a little bit about today's Heartworm Day. So Josh, we've got about 30 animals here today. A lot are here for it's a 3-step process for the treatment. Could you quickly explain that, how that works?
Yeah, first you come in and you get a test. It's an antigen-based test. We just take a very small blood sample, and if they test positive, we will put you on 30 days of doxycycline. It is an antibiotic that kills the bacteria that they form. After that, you'll come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll get you started. We do TPRs, we listen to their heart, take their temperature and their respirations, and then they'll go back in their kennel and hang out for a little bit and cool down. Then we bring them out and we give them a muscle relaxer and an antihistamine to basically settle them down and get them ready for their shot. We give them about 30 minutes to an hour to settle in their body, and then we bring them out and we give them an injection of miticide.
So the injection that they receive actually has a trace amount of arsenic in it, is that correct?
Yes, I believe it does. It's the most effective thing to kill the adult heartworms.
Josh, what are the symptoms that a dog shows and exhibits that has heartworm prior to them being diagnosed?
Usually fatigue, coughing is also very common.
So how important is it in your mind that people get their dogs on heartworm preventative medication, especially here in Southwest Florida?
It's very, very important. It is a fatal disease. It kills so many dogs, especially here in Florida where mosquitoes are just everywhere.
So it's also true that you can actually put a dog on preventative medication almost for its entire life at a less cost than it is to have your dog treated for heartworm?
Oh, yes. It's extremely expensive. A lot of clinics will charge just astronomical, and for a good reason. It's a very expensive treatment, and luckily, there's places like the Humane Society that helps out people that can't quite afford that.
And we're able to do that because we're supported by individual donors, businesses, and the support from the community. We are open to the public. We do serve the needy as well, but we are open to the general public. And the heartworm test is part of the wellness check that all dogs get when they come here?
Yeah, when you come in for an exam, you can get a heartworm test and a set of shots and kind of set them up, for their life. And it's good to do that once a year, every year, and then keep them on preventative all year long, because there's always mosquitoes in Florida.
That is very true. We have the helicopters flying around on a regular basis throughout the summer. So again, this is a 3-step process as far as the treatment goes. They have their first treatment, then 30 days later they return for the final 2 treatments?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much. We appreciate what you're doing for the animals. And again, Humane Society here in Manatee County, located at 2415 14th Street West, open to the public.
My name's Paula, and I'm here with Bear. We rescued him about 4 months ago. Yeah, he's a pit bull lab mix. We think about a 50-50 kind of split down the middle. We found out heartworm was important, well, at least the prevention and protection and the whole treatment when we went, I'm sorry, he's pulling me. When we went to have him checked up after we found him and rescued him, we had his shots done and got him fixed and had the test done, and it came back positive. We weren't really sure what to do at first. I mean, we knew treatment was the option to go, but we didn't know if he could recover. We never experienced anything of that. And the Humane Society helped us in a sense where they made the whole process very calm and very easy for not only us, but him as well. And this day and age, money is tight on everyone. And Julian and I, my boyfriend, Bear's daddy, we're no exception. Money is tight for us too. And all of a sudden have a dog who had this problem, we were not financially prepared. We weren't ready. It's just, and we didn't want to give him up. He's my son. He's my little baby. Like, I love him so much. And the Humane Society they're gracious enough to help us pay for his medical bills so that we can keep him and can help him and give him his forever home, because so many dogs they don't get families like this. So it's Melissa, one of the fellow employees here, she's worked with us tremendously. She's the one who even brought up the fact that there are grants, that Julian and I had no idea that you guys even offered this kind of help for families who needed it. And it's just, we were at the point where we couldn't afford his treatment, so we were going to put him back up for adoption. And her just bringing this information to us and allowing us and helping us to get, fill out the forms for the grant and talk to people for it, we're able to keep him so that I can sit here and tell you about it today and tell about his success story and how he has a happy home and he's going to be loved forever. They told us it wasn't bad, so he's going to have a full, healthy, happy life with us, which hopefully is going to be like 14 to 15 years. I'm hoping for the long haul. So, but yeah, he's gonna, in about a year, he'll be able to do everything a dog can do. He can run and jump and pull me places. It's not as difficult as you think. It's not hard of a process as you think. It's really easy. The people will work with you. They want you to have a home for him. They want you to get him fixed, get him help. They will work with you. You're not alone in this process.
So here we are back at the Humane Society of Manatee County with a couple of special guests that stopped by for the Heartworm treatment program. We have Sid and Al Capone here with us today. Sid, how is Al doing? He is an alumni. You adopted Al Capone from the Humane Society of Manatee County, correct?
Yes, I did. I adopted him on May the 4th, and he's been with me for almost 2 months, and in that time he's gained almost 20 pounds, and he's just filled my heart as he's filled out himself.
Oh, yeah. And Al Capone is a heartworm positive dog, and he is part of our treatment program here. And obviously you have him on his preventive medication as well. How's he doing through his treatments?
So far, so good. I think the toughest part is trying to keep them calm. Dogs want to play. They're dogs. But he's wonderful. He's absolutely wonderful. He listens, and he's doing well through it.
So, Sid, we all remember here at the Humane Society of Manatee County when you first came in and met Al Capone, the look on your face, the excitement in your heart. And, when you took him home, obviously we were all ecstatic. You're a great, responsible dog owner, and you're taking great care of Al Capone. What was the process like for you from when you first met Al to sitting here today in your dealings here with the Humane Society?
Well, first of all, thank you. When I first found out, I was frightened. I remember I've been around dogs all my life, and when you mention heartworm, it's okay, you might as well put the dog down. Whereas now, it's just come such a long way, and when I was informed, my heart sank. And I got a look of, oh, it's no big deal. And it took me by surprise. And then I was informed of step-by-step procedures, the medication that he was on prior to the actual treatment that set up the 3 months. It's scary. I don't want anything to happen to him, and I think that people, I have a pack of six dogs, and I've always had them on heartworm medication, but I never knew I'm sorry about this. I never knew the extent of what happens. And then when I came here for his first treatment, I found out the importance of why they have to be kept still, because that's really the hardest part, is keeping them very calm. Then when I was educated on why, and it's because during the excitement, a worm could become dislodged. And I'm sorry about the stuttering, but I'm trying to think of the correct terminology. But a worm could become, it could go through the blood system, excuse me, and it could cause a clog and they could die. So it is very important to be on the preventive medication. That's a must, especially in this climate.
So you're pretty happy with the counseling that you've been getting from our medical staff and the staff here at the Humane Society of Manatee County to walk you through the process, you and Al Capone through the process together?
They've been fantastic. They really have. You guys do a wonderful job here. I'd like to work here.
All right, so now this turns into a job interview.
Yes, yes. If you want an interview, I do have a pack of 6. I have 49 open wound dog bites credited to my name. That's not counting the ones that I don't have the skin broken, and it's all breaking up fights. I don't have a fear. I raised Great Danes. I have Chihuahuas now. I have mixed terriers. I have Capone and cats too. So there's no prejudice there. I'm not on either one. And I'm old, so I have a lot of experience with them.
Well, we're extremely excited that Al Capone is doing so well in your home. You've provided him with some great care. Again, you're an extremely responsible pet owner, and Al is a very important companion to you, and you're following up with his heartworm treatment and doing everything you need to do to make sure that Al lives a happy and healthy life for many years to come. So we thank you as well.
The Humane Society is here. They've got convenient hours for you to come and look at pets. And the people here have always been wonderful to me as far as showing me different animals and whatnot. As far as education with them, I learned an awful lot. I mean, most people like to think of themselves as well-educated in something that's a passion of theirs. But in this case, I didn't understand heartworm. And they're here to inform you. There's always, if you go to their website, I found there's always events here going on, whether it be for about a month ago, they had free vaccinations for cats and dogs. You can't beat that. Spend the extra money, all right, they can cut back on dog biscuits maybe, and get that preventive medicine, because that's what's really important. And thank you guys for doing the treatment.
We're here now at the Humane Society of Manatee County's Pet Health Center, and I'm standing next to the clinic manager, Terry Romano. And today is a special day for us, for also for the community. It's Heartworm Treatment Today, and Terry's going to explain to us a little bit more about why we have a special day for heartworm treatment, and what is the process, and how do we actually decide which day and whatnot, and how many animals we actually take care of. Terry?
We do this once a month. Throughout the month, animals come in and they are tested, and we determine that they are heartworm positive. They're immediately put on an antibiotic to start the heartworm treatment process. And then we schedule them all on 1 and 2 days, around the 3rd week of the month. We do this because we can keep our costs low of the medication. Once you open the medication, you need to use it all, and so we add up a bunch of dogs and put them in on a certain day. That way we can keep our costs low by keeping the staff busy all in one day and treating that many animals. Today we're doing about 25 dogs, and then tomorrow will be second injection, or third injection, excuse me, for many of those that had their second injection today, so then it'll diminish off to about 17 dogs tomorrow. It's amazing of how many dogs every single month we continue to treat for this disease that's fully preventable with a very inexpensive medication. that's a lot of what we do throughout the month, is educating people on how important the prevention is. For a small dog, you can prevent heartworms for just $4 a month. And we also keep the cost of that prevention down to a manageable level so people can afford to do the right thing. Heartworm treatment is expensive. The smallest dog is $400, and that's actually even after they have some heart disease, and then they could have some damage to their hearts. So it's all about the understanding of how to prevent it. This is not good business for us. This is not a day that we really celebrate and enjoy of having these dogs in here. It's hard on them, and we work with them, but we need to really educate people on the importance of prevention.
And speaking of, do we have available to us product where, say, I already know my animal has heartworm issues, right? And I'm taking my animal to another vet. Can I bring my animal here and have it treated and also buy medication from you all?
Absolutely. Many animals come to us in that way. They've gone to another veterinarian. They have gotten a quote on how much heartworm treatment would be. They found out their dog was heartworm positive, and they find out how much the treatment will be through another facility. Through donors, we're able to keep our costs in line also. And so then we get them set up on our program. They come in for an exam. They meet with our doctor. We do blood work on them to get a baseline of their overall health. And then we begin to put them through our programs here.
So the process, I'll use me going to a vet that's not here, my own vet. Is it similar to what they would experience coming here?
Yes. There's a protocol established by the American Heartworm Association that we all follow as veterinarian professionals.
That's excellent. And the other question I would have for you is the fact that we do have donors who can help underwrite costs, and we're thankful for that because as you heard a couple of people talk earlier who were interviewed, if we didn't have the donor support, they wouldn't be able to have their animals treated, and then they wouldn't have been able to take the animal home or even keep the animal. And so the whole goal here is to make sure that the animal goes back to their house as opposed to get euthanized or sick or not adopted. So I know that's very exciting, and that's both of our goals. And so I wanted to make sure I shared that. My other question would be cost comparatively. If you were coming in and you're not in a situation necessarily where you needed extra support, how do we compare to other animal clinics and veterinary offices?
As I mentioned before, a smaller dog under 20 pounds with us for treatment is $400, and many other veterinarians for the same size of animal are in the $600 to $900 range. And again, it's because of the volume. It's how we schedule them, and so we schedule them all in a day, and we can keep our costs low. So we manage our costs. It's important to us to be tight, and that way that we can treat more animals in a given day.
Well, that's excellent, and of course, that's one of our focuses as well. Is when we make sure that every dollar spent is spent thoughtfully and respectfully, because it is donor dollars, and so I appreciate that, and so does the community. It's a great community service that we offer. Is there anything else you want to add on this Heartworm Day?
Come for prevention. That's what the most important thing is. Many animals, many dogs who are then discovered to have heartworms, people panic. They don't have the money. They don't know that we are here to help them at the low-cost treatment that we provide to them. And so then they turn these animals into the shelters. And I think that the misnomer is take them to a shelter where there are medical professionals, right? And that they will get care there. And unfortunately, they don't have the financial resources to be able to provide the treatment, and most of the time, subsequently, those dogs are euthanized. That's what we're all about, Valerie. We don't want that to happen to these animals. We're trying to provide a resource to get the prevention that they need, low cost. You can bring a dog here for $60 for a rabies vaccine, a heartworm test, and a distemper and parvo vaccine, and then walk out with some prevention. So like for an $80 visit, you now have protected your dog's heart.
That's excellent. One other question I would also have is that, say I have an animal and I find out it's heartworm positive, but I have transportation issues from time to time. Can I order this product online?
Yes, absolutely. Once you're an established client of the Humane Society, then you can purchase your heartworm prevention throughout the year, shipped to your home directly, free shipping. It arrives in about 3 to 5 days. You pay for it online in our secure website, and absolutely, you don't even have to come back for your second visit.
That's excellent. What a great service to offer. And I just want to thank Terry for all she does to manage this clinic and provide all these services and treat all these animals.
So we're here with Dr. Julie Hollifield in the back of the Manatee, the Humane Society of Manatee County. And Doctor, can you explain to us exactly what the program is here for the heartworm positive dogs?
Yes, we started it with just our animals that were being adopted from here, and then we saw such a need in the community that we opened it up to the public. So it's basically the same thing that the American Heartworm Society recommends for treatment. We do the 3 injections and the medications that go with it. Is a big package. They get blood work, and they also get 6 months of heartworm preventative to go home on. And then they get a test 6 months later to make sure that they're clear. And at that point, we make a little Purple Heart tag that says Heartworm Survivor on it that they get to go home with. So the owners really like that. But yes, it's been very successful. We're really booked out all summer long. Slows down a little bit in the winter, but not usually. I mean, it's starting to pick up to where, you know, we're being used by different rescues, and also the word is getting out in the public that we can treat it. So it's much more affordable. It's just because we do high numbers at one time. We're not doing anything any different than any other vet. It's just that we're doing many at one time so we can lower the prices and make it more affordable.
Exactly how serious of a condition is it for a dog when they're diagnosed with heartworm?
Well, it can really damage the heart. The worms live in the right side of the heart, and depending on how many there are, they can damage the valves. If pieces of the worm break off into the lungs, that can cause an embolus. So it can be very serious, and when they're treated, we don't know how many worms are in the heart, but we're trying to prevent as much damage as possible. So some of them have had heartworms for longer than others. Their heart is obviously going to be damaged a little bit more. There's nothing we can do about that damage. We just have to treat them, and most of the ones that we do are asymptomatic when they come in, meaning that they really don't have any symptoms of a cough or any kind of heart failure. So hopefully we're getting rid of them, and then they can go on and live a normal life.
So with many dogs, age is also sometimes a determining factor of their at risk. Are all dogs at risk to contract heartworm?
Yes, all dogs are at risk. They can get infected, shortly after birth. It takes 6 or 7 months for it to show up on a test. So we typically don't test them before that. But yes, they're at risk from any time there's mosquitoes around. They're at risk. So we've treated older dogs too. Age is not necessarily a disease. So if they're asymptomatic and we feel like we can treat them successfully, we do that. But yeah, we've done all ages.
Well, we thank you for your dedication to this program. You and your staff, you're doing a great job, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So in the beginning, when they first get here, we do their temperature and pulse and respiration and make sure everything looks okay in a physical exam. And then they get an injection of Benadryl. And then in these little pill pockets here, we have prednisone and also methocarbamol, which is a muscle relaxer. And that seems to, because we inject this, imidacide is the product that we use for the treatment. And this is injected with a long needle into the epaxial muscles of the back, so right alongside their spine here. And it's a very long needle, it's very muscular there. you have to get deep down in the muscle. So I find that the muscle relaxers give it the best. We do it about 2 hours after we give them the Robaxin, which is the methocarbamol, and they don't really even flinch with it. So it really seems to work well. And then we send them home with 5 days worth of that for the recovery period. And I would say that 99% of them don't require any other pain medication or control at home.
Thanks everyone for visiting us again here at the Humane Society of Manatee County. Today we featured our Heartworm program. I want to thank our clinic manager, Terry Romano, our lead veterinary technician, Josh Jordan, and our development director, Valerie Bliss, for being part of the show today. We're here at the Humane Society of Manatee County, saving lives 4 paws at a time. Thank you, and we'll be back next month.